What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Come at you guys, well, with another market watch today. Before we begin, common question of the day. Answer down below and let me know what you think and what your theory is. Is Skystriker Ace Ray really Dogmatica Ecclesia? It's just something we talked about on stream on Twitch the other day. By the way, I stream on Twitch. Check me out down below. Links will be in the description. YGO_Paisano. And let me know. I think, and this is my theory, that Ray, with all the technology, all the robots, jumped into an alternate dimension where she became Ecclesia. Now, if you look at the other Dogmatica monsters, they don't have this space hammer with lasers and all this stuff. They don't. They really don't. So I think Ray's Ecclesia. Let me know in the comments down below. Guys, I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button while you're at it. And hit the notification bell whenever I do my live streams here on YouTube. If I ever do. I've been doing a lot on Twitch. And I think when I get partnered on Twitch, I'm definitely going to continue doing even more live streams than I did before. So definitely check me out. Like I said, links will be down below. I'd greatly appreciate the follow and subscribe on Twitch. Okay, let's go right into the market, because Teardrop the Rika Queen, coming out of Secret Slayers, had a $14 market price. Even that was unknown. Like, this card was like $7 on released, and now the market price was going to be $14, but the card's actually roughly near $25. Now, it could be because of the new support coming out in the next set, which is going to be Ancient Guardians, maybe. And not really support for Teardrop, but she can be used in that deck. It could be that, and players are using it, and she's a one-of, by the way. Me, personally, I have a playset of Rikas I'm selling, and I have a fourth one I'm just keeping, just in case. That's the way I'm dealing with it. But let me know if you guys have this card. I gotta say, Secret Slayers is like the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, obviously, front end, you had Elo the Golden Lord. But, like, anyone who held on to Curse Elend got paid. If you still have Animated Researchers, somehow they're still $32. Elixir the Black Awakening card, which wasn't even used on debut, you got paid. Teardrop Rika, you got paid. Looking at Elixir, looking at Conquistador, and looking at Hakuero, if you still have these cards, you're gonna get paid. This subset is absolutely amazing. The amount of value you can get from Secret Slayers is crazy, and that's why I know reason why these boxes, which used to be roughly around, I think it was $90 when we talked about the last market watch to get German ones. Yeah, no, they're $200. After that one's gone, by the way, it's roughly around $250, then $300 for booster boxes of Secret Slayers. And I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps hitting that number as this set keeps giving us more value. A long time ago, we talked about Abyss Dweller out of OTS 1 Pack 13. How I said, even though it wasn't seeing meta play at the time, it's still a great card and will see value. The card was at the time worth around $50. Hopefully, you guys got yours, because with an $80 market price, Abyss Dweller right now is roughly around $100. It was inevitable this card's gonna go up in value. I don't care. It was $50, sure. This card always sees play. In the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, you need to access your graveyard. It was inevitable that this card was gonna be the card that was gonna be valuable. And hopefully you guys still have yours. And if you don't, well, $100 might be a discount soon, seeing the fact that this card's price can go higher than that. Then we have Cross Shape, another card thrown out there where you have the Ultra Rare Battle's Legend Armageddon, which is roughly around $3, or the regular Rare Ignition Sword. That's almost near $3 as well. So if you have extras of these lying around, why don't you sell them? We also have Empty Machine, coming out of Battle's Legends Relentless Revenge. This card with a $3, almost a $4 market price, is actually roughly around $7. If you ever see this card, sell it. It's $7. And of course, we have Silent Wobbly. And listen, I rarely talk about premium gold cards because I hate premium gold. It's probably the peak of gold rarity that I hate. But I will say, if there's the only printing of a card, it's going to be worth money. Silent Wobbly with a $6 market price actually is roughly around $13 to almost $14. That is crazy for this card. But once again, it's the only printing in premium gold. If it gets another printing, the value obviously will tank. But if you have this card, it's $13, almost $14. Sell it. Then we have Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. This card is just all over the place. Don't get me wrong. I think the deck, it really like sees a lot of play in, is like the Grand Maju deck. And to me, Grand Maju to me is a coin flip deck. Do you have the hand? No? Okay, you lose. Do you have the hand? Yeah? Okay, then there's no way your opponent could win. That's what that deck is to me. But I will say, look at Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, where you have the Super Rares out of Breakers of Shadows, which is roughly around $6, or the Secret Rares, roughly around $7.50. Was there $8? I mean, I sold all mine. So what are you doing with that? Are you selling yours? Let me know. Then we have One-Up Zen Mains. As Yu-Gi-Oh players still figure out what are they doing with 2011 format, cards like One-Up Zen Mains, Secret Rare, this is the highest rarity, by the way. I think you got a super rare, right, in the 10? Yeah, 20 total collector's 10. But if you want the secret One-Up Zen Mains out of full on Shockwave with a $7.50 market price, well, I mean, let's put all conditions back in. But unlimiteds are roughly around, what is that, like $11, $12, $13 for unlimiteds? Actually, no, we'll go by verifiable, about $13, verifiable. If you want a first edition version, they're roughly around $21. And you realistically only need one of these cards. So if you're looking to play 2011 format, the format is not defined. Nobody knows what to play yet. And if they are going to play any kind of Rabbit variant or any variant after the release of one of Zen Mains, you can be damn sure in 2011 format, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will be opting to play one of Zen Mains. Do you have yours? If not, hey, you don't have to get the secret rare. You can always grab the super rare if you really want to. Then we have Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. Now this card out of Long Attack Galaxy. I talked about this card a long time ago. And then it got a reprint as a super rare. And everyone's like, V, the card tanked. It's done. In Infinity Chases, by the way. There's right there, super rare. It's a quarter. Okay. But if you want the original print of Lord Attack on Galaxy, Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack, a card which at one point in this game was $150, currently holding an $8 market price, well, you get unlimited, no big deal, for roughly around $12. But first edition versions of this card is starting at roughly around $65. And then, of course, you got the jokes with the 6969, 6969, and then it's $80. So, do you have Secret Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack? Because if it's first edition, it's worth about $70. If it's unlimited, about $12. It's a bit of a difference. But I will say, looking at the unlimited versions, they are catching up to the first edition versions. In fact, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, if you don't want to spend the money for first edition versions of Draco Sack, there's only 3 listings of the unlimiteds. Realistically, 1 verifiable, 1 kind of up there. They're dirt cheap. You get the unlimiteds and relist them for like 30, 40 bucks. Like, that can be a thing. And don't get me wrong, that one inevitably will be a thing. Up next, we have High Priestess of Prophecy, Secret Rare out of Eternal Duel. So another old, really, really old card, but with a $70 market price, it's not. I mean, the unlimited version of the cards will for around $20. And if you want to buy a first edition version, it's such at roughly around $30. And after that, $30 is gone. With shipping, it's like $33, $34. After that one's gone, the card goes immediately to $60. And then it's $75. High Priest of Prophecy is just, I mean, it's in spellbooks. Nobody's really doing anything with spellbooks, but I do feel like there's always hype behind spellbooks sporadically. And I definitely think maybe one day we'll see Konami do support for spellbooks. Who knows? But one thing that's for sure is the value is all over the place for High Priest of Prophecy. And do you have yours? If not, you might want to consider picking it up. Then we have Rescue Rabbit out of Photon Shockwave. Now, obviously, with Sun Avalons, people are playing this card in that deck, 2011 format. People will probably be playing that card in that format. But also, as time goes on, it's inevitable that this card is going to see play. It's all played in the past sporadically, and it will see play moving forward. There's a couple of versions of Rescue Rabbit. Once again, you can get the common at a Structure Dynamaster's Fury, 45 cents. The super rare at a Megaton, $2. Or the original print Secret Rare. We talked about this card last when it was roughly, I think it was like $48 we talked about. Well, look at the market price right now. It's roughly around $27. The version of the card right now is an Italian one, but after the Italian one, unlimited version for $74. First version starting roughly around $75 with shipping for Secret Rare Rescue Rabbit. It is spiked up in value. All the rescue cards, for the most part, specifically Rescue Rabbit and Cat, have spiked in value. Keep an eye on the other rescue cards because they might show some good value in the future as well. Who knows? Then we have Bond between teacher and student. Maybe it could be collectors. Maybe this could be Yu-Gi-Oh! Players getting excited to play Dark Magician. I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend to know. The only thing I honestly do know is the fact that this card is worth money. And you might have this card and don't know it, because when you saw that, you said, Dark Magician, I'm a meta player, get out of here. We're looking at Bond between teacher and student with a $6 market price. The value right now is roughly around $7. So if you have this card, it's free $7. Why wouldn't you go and remember this card? Then we have Cyframe Gia Gamba, the collector's rares out of Toon Chaos. So one of the biggest questions I get asked, especially on my stream, when I stream on Twitch, is, V, why don't you own, because I love Max Rarity stuff, why don't you own Collector's Rare Cyframe Q Gamma? There's a difference between liking Max Rarity and buying cards at the peak of their rarity. I don't like to buy at peak, but I do like to have the ability to get Max Rarity, if that makes any sense at all. Look at that Cypher Game with a $100 market price. The unlimited versions are roughly around $131. By the way, after that one's gone, it's roughly around $170 and $180. The unlimited versions at one point were dirt cheap when they spiked insanely high in value. If you want to buy a first edition version of this card, it's almost near $300. It's $285. Okay, almost near $300 for one Gamma. You're gonna need 3, by the way. And the thing about the Gamma is, don't get me wrong, I think it's a great card. I think Collector's looks amazing. But for $300, I'll keep my Ultra Rares. And I find out with a lot of cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, whose fault it is? Realistically, nobody's. I think Konami looking and making new rarity, maybe even include this in Starlight Rare, will definitely modify the price point of Collector's Rare. Also, don't forget the fact that even though it's Collector's Rare, Konami can't have a potential chance of making this card an Ultimate Rare in an OTS set. which would definitely lower the collector's rare value. 100% will. We've seen it done already with Potter's Eyes. It's going to happen to Gamma. So don't get me wrong, I think this is a great card. If you hold it already, you're probably enjoying it. But I do think, as well as the unlimited version, by the way, and I do think with the Ultimate Rare coming out, it won't take in value, but it'll definitely go under as the Ultimate Rare goes higher as we pull away from the OTS set that the Ultimate Rare was in. And we know Konami looks at hand traps, and they look to make these hand traps and give it to us in Ultimate Rares in OTS packs. We've seen it with Drawn Lockbird, we've seen it with Ghost Ogre, and it's not going to stop. We're going to see more. So that's why I'm not putting a ton of money in this card. It's, even though I like max rarity, I think the max rarity of Gamma isn't out yet. I think it's going to be Ultimate Rare, so I'm waiting. And I think you should wait as well. Then we have Nibiru the Primer being at an OTS 1 pack 14. This card, I bought a playset of about 120 to 130 each. That's what I bought it on. I know I bought it late, but I did it. Okay, I'm in. Look at my Instagram when I see a picture of it. Look at Nibiru the Primer being right now at an OTS 1 pack 14 with $141 market price. The value, well, it's roughly around 155. And watch this. There's 155. That guy is, once again, unverifiable. The next verifiable guy is $170. Now, here's the question. Would Nibiru the Primer Bing ever go down in price? For the Ultimate Rare? Yes. Here's why. When we get Crossout Designator, the amount of people playing Nibiru might not be as many due to the fact that you don't want to play through of a hand trap if your opponent's going to activate Crossout Designator. So we might see Yu-Gi-Oh players playing less hand traps. Of course, with a little, maybe Maxi comes with the ban list. That also changes things, but I don't want to get into that because some people love when I say that. Some people get mad when I say that. But with Crossout Designator, there's no chance of you playing 3 Nibirus if you're not going to be able to ever fully resolve the one you have in your hand. So that's what I think about Nibiru the Primer being. Even though it's a lot of money, I think Yu-Gi-Oh players will start playing less hand traps. We're going to see Yu-Gi-Oh players actually play 2 Yamas, maybe. We're definitely going to see Yu-Gi-Oh players play 2 Ash. We're going to see Yu-Gi-Oh players play 2 Nibiru. In the OCG, you can see this happen all throughout the OCG. They're even running like an Ogre as well. So they can try to catch your opponent. If they cross the designated 1 card, they can still get you with another card. So that's kind of the hand trap lineup for a lot of OCG decks. And I do think that will inevitably come to us when we finally get one day, 1 year, 1 time Crossout Designator. So if everyone is not playing 3 of these, ideally, the market should dump the extra thirds, and the value might go down. Will it tank? No. Will it go on to like $100 again? Probably not. It's always going to be money, but it will go down a little bit. And you gotta make sure to check out when it does that. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, I'll talk about when it's a good time to buy this card. Right now, I don't think you should be buying it. Then we have Pseudopod Musician at OTS 1 pack 14 with $105 market price. The value of this card is at $110. Well, realistically, $115 if you want to go buy verifiable sellers. $115 for Ultimate Rare Super Polymerization. So, why is that? Well, Shadow Invoked is one of the best decks in the game. I think Shadow Invoked is almost to the point where it's almost a going second deck if you're playing Shadow Invoked. If you're in Dogmatica, you can go first, but then you get people playing Drawn Lockbird. It's hit or miss. But for a lot of decks right now, they're trying to put buys on board. Like, we'll see what we're done with Infernobles. Definitely done with Dragon Links. If you open a Super Polymerization, you're going to break that board. Your opponent's playing the Tri-Brigade deck and trying to lock you out. You summon an Alistair, Super Polymerization, bada bing, bada boom, you broke their deck. And I feel like Super Polymerization is one of the best and most broken cards. I'm shocked it came off the ban list. It's at 3, and that's the reason why this card is being so popular. Can this card ever fall out of popularity? No. Konami has to hit this card in the ban list. Will they do it? I don't know. They just unban the card. Would they reban the card? They unbanned? They've done it in the past, but not a lot. And I do think Super Polymerization is definitely a card that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to start playing moving forward, whether or not they are playing even Shadow Invoked list. I think there's still opportunity for players to play this card, even their side deck, if they're not running that variant. So keep an eye on Super Polymerization. I definitely think it's a great card, and I definitely think the value out of OTS 1 pack 14 is going to hit some insanely high numbers that we haven't seen before. Up next is Ghost in the Past. So, Ghost in the Past has stabilized. We talked about this in the past. We talked about this in the past. Sorry, you see what I did there? Dad jokes. And then now we're starting to see Ghost in the Past rise in value. Keep an eye on it. Dark Magician Ghost Rare at a Ghost in the Past with a $700 market price. The value of this card, well, there's one at $800, and then it's $1,000. After a couple of sales, it's $3,000. So you might say, V, that's crazy. Yeah, it is. And unless you're a collector, there's no reason to buy this card. Blue Turn of White Dragon, unless you're a casual player that has some kind of money, there's no reason to buy this card. Black Little Soldier, well, Secret Rare is rising in value, and the Ghost Rare actually is not that much. It's actually going under. It's currently $345 in the market, but the market price has it at $386. Looking at Crystal Wing Single Dragon, it's doing the same thing. It's actually just stabilizing. And look at a 5-wall Dragon, it's going a little bit under as well. It's definitely the lowest Ghost Rare, even though I do think it definitely has the probably, arguably, one of the biggest chances to see any kind of meta play if we would see more Cyber decks in the future. So what's happening here? Well, easy. The collector's market is taking advantage of Dark Magician. I can predict that Blue Eyes White Dragon or Turn of White Dragon more than likely will start being bought out as well. BLS might start cooling down even more than what it currently is. Crystal Wing might be stabilizing, but there's always a possibility of it cooling down as well. As we see a meta change in which Virtual doesn't see any meta play, then there's no reason to get this card. And then looking at Firewall Dragon, well, there's a chance for it to actually go up in value. So keep an eye on all these cards. Just like looking at Crystal Wing Single Dragon Ghost Rare, just because this card is, well, Crystal Wing Single Dragon Ghost Rare is very unique because it's hard to find. And when it's hard to find, it's unique, it's going to go up higher in value. This card with a current $55 market price is roughly on limited versions, by the way, $75. First versions, $130. And what we see here, and this is a great example. Someone asked me on my live stream before, what we're seeing here is unlimited Ghost Rares starting to catch up in value to their first edition counterparts. And we're gonna see this with a lot of Ghost Rares. And you can take this example and use it with a lot of cards. We saw it with Collector's Rares with Gamma earlier, how the unlimited Gammas, which were dirt cheap, are now starting to catch up to the first edition versions, almost to the point where they're almost indistinguishable. And the reason why this is done because, well, it's always about, do you have it? No, then I'm gonna get it ×3. That's how it works in the market. Obviously, you might say V, collectors, collectors. Sure, I get that. And they definitely might have something to do with it. But if a collector buys all the first edition version of a card and the unlimited version of the card is so dirt cheap, Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to buy the unlimited versions. Don't get me wrong, we want to have the first edition versions, but if the unlimited is like 10 times lower, they will buy that. And this is why we've seen cards like Crystal Wing Single Dragon Ghost Rare show that stabilization price. And this is going to happen to a lot of other cards in this game, where the original print first editions are so expensive, the unlimiteds that are like $2 are going to get cleaned out to the point where the limits will be, they'll never be as high, but they'll be underneath it, and still worth a lot of money due to the fact that you can't buy this card at crazy high valuation in the future. And this is going to happen with a lot of cards, by the way, not just Ghost Rares. So, United We Stand, the miscellaneous promo card, the blue, the one you got if you enter the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sweepstake, remote duel at home, the whole jazz. It's $200,000 on TCG Player. This guy is such a jokester. I mean, you gotta be, right? Like, amazing. Like, come on, stop. Realistically, the card's selling roughly around $3,000 on eBay. The funny thing about United We Stand Blue is the fact that when it first came out, they were selling for $1,500 on eBay, and now they're $3,000 on eBay. And I feel like cards like they're just hard to get as time goes on. As we pull away from these cards. Not that you ever had a chance to get in this card in the first place. You had to get it in one opportunity, and most people didn't. So that's even less of this card around. The harder it is to get, the more money it's going to be worth. There's going to be a time where this card will unironically be worth about $10,000. You might go, V, that's crazy. Yeah, this card recently sold for $1,500 to $3,000. It will be worth more money as it gets harder and harder to find. In fact, there's a future in which someone says, you don't have this card. And you might have this card right now. And they'll go, you don't have this card. I can't even fathom you having this card. Why? Well, go ahead and tell somebody you have, let's say, 9 first edition Stardust Dragon Ghost Rares. Go ahead and tell them that. See what they say to you. But there was a time that you could have got those cards for nothing. And when Unite We Stand, it's going to be the same situation in which a very, very few amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, period, has this card. I'm included. Luckily, I'm included one of those. But a very few amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have this card. And as time goes on, this card will be almost a myth. That's how crazy is the market. Like I said in my last video, the market 10 years from now is a market we can't fathom. Just like the market 10 years ago is the market we wish we could be in again and buy cards from. Look at my earlier market watches, like I said. Those earlier market watches are me talking about cards that were so dirt cheap at the time. But if you go to the comment section, you can see people go, V, you're insane. Dante for more than $4 first edition out of this alliance? No one's buying that card. But they are. First edition Shadow Construct Ultimate Rare, $26? That's a ripoff. Effect Vela Ultimate Rare, $28? I'll wait till it cools down to $10 for first edition Ultimate Rare Effect Vela. These are the things people would say. Turns out, they didn't strike when the iron was hot. And a lot of cards are going to be like that. As you play this game, as you're involved, that's why I always say, go and get exactly what you need in this market. Don't buy sealed unless you want to play the lottery. You want to play the lottery? You want to gamble? All power to you. Good luck. Hopefully you pull good. But if you really want to get the good cards, you go in like a sniper. And it's amazing. Then we have Dragon Maid. So, once again, on stream, we always have these great conversations. And one of those we're talking about Dragon Maid. And how the fact that Dragon Maid, and the waifu tag specifically, is worth insane amounts of money. Oodles of money, right? So here's the question. Will there be always value in Dragon Maids? I don't think we can really answer it. Some of you might say, V, yeah, like Dark Magician Girl, there's always value. Yes and no. Dark Magician Girl is really unique because she was the first waifu. We had many others in the past that people kind of forgot about. At one point in this game, Madoches were the waifus. Don't get me wrong, there's a Madoche community, and they make the cards going crazy because they're insane, but they're not really widely known now, as Dragon Maids currently are the waifus. And I hate talking about this, but at the same time, you have to talk about this because the fact is in the market, and that's important. Looking at the 2019 Dragon Maid mat, this market price is $450. The Dragon Maid filtered token? That used to be $23? No, it's not. It's $70, almost $80. By the way, after those couple of sales, it goes to $150 for a field center. Okay? Now, we could say, you know, Chamber Dragon Maid is it's whatever, dude. Okay? It's seen out of play, so it's whatever. Kitchen Dragon Maid's $28. And as a reprint, but it's still $28 for the secret rare. Dragon Maid Hospitality, $23 to $24. The waifu tax will always be here, and I always feel like it will always change hands. There'll be one time where we'll see a small community like we see with the Madoji community with Dragon Maids that will pay that waifu tax. But there'll always be more and more and more. And where the new taxes is the new amount of money Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will pay. And that's what's going to happen with the waifu tax. And I really want to talk about that because I feel like even though this will still hold crazy value, there'll be the next thing that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will like that will hold crazy value and they'll spend a lot of money on because anime girl cute, she got drawn the cute way to make the cute noises. It is what it is, but there's value in this market. By the way, real quickly, check the CD player in case anyone wants to buy my Dragon Maid playmat. I'll list mine online. That's a crazy amount of money for a playmat. And if someone buys that from me, wow. Okay. Maybe after this video, maybe someone might actually, I might, you know, whatever. Someone might PM me and say they want it. I don't know if it's still around. Maybe I don't know, dude. I'm not holding this. This is whatever. I'm not that into waifu stuff, but I will say the waifu stuff for value is definitely still here. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit the like button, comment down below. And like I said, definitely check me out on Twitch. We stream at least 5 days a week. I'm streaming a lot more as well. And we have a great community, guys. And I really do appreciate you guys coming on here and hanging out with me on the stream and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And talking through my mentality of what I want to play. And right now I'm playing Shadow Invoke, but I'm definitely looking to pick up a new deck soon. I have some stuff in the works to play a new deck. And I would love if you guys check me out and see how it works. And if it's your boy Vin, YGOPaisanos, you guys have a great day.